Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. We are here to do a bit late, slightly late player rating video of 2023 to 2024 season. I mean, the guys, Anthony over on Interworldwide did this video about, I think, 11, 12 days ago. So I am very late, but it doesn't really matter because then you get like, now we've had time to digest the season. We have, you gotta give it a little bit of time. You gotta let it breathe, like when you make dough for pizza, you gotta let that dough prove and just let it aerate. So now we've the Serie A season actually was only recently finished. When was that last game? Was that Fiorentina Atalanta? Was it? When was that? That was just 2nd of June. That was the actual official last day. So yeah, official Serie A interplay ratings for this season. We'll get into it in a minute. Let me just give a shout out to the people. And only 10 people in the house, but make sure you guys leaving a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Usually I make these, I would have made this video a lot earlier, but it's just been one of those years. My content output this year has not been as good as it has been in previous seasons, but at least Inter's output has been amazing. Mr. Alpha Bravo, your shirt. I need to still Mr. Alpha Bravo is the winner of, actually, whilst he's there, let's bring it up because I don't really talk about it on the live streams too much, but Sera A Fantasy, Mr. Alpha Bravo won it so easily. It was ridiculously easy. I didn't even check my final ranking because it was just like, he won it so easily. Let's have a look. I didn't even do my team on the last few days. On the last match day, my team was Lautaro was my captain. I didn't even change my captain. Pretty bad ending to the season. And let's see where Samardic's father United, which was one team name, where we finished. So on my own league, I finished in the top 10 at least, which is, I think you got to be at least a respectable finish. But here he is, Ahmed Bacha. 7,829 points. Jesus Christ. The gap between him and the second person, Artyom, by the way, shout out to Artyom. He did a great effort, but just nowhere near Ahmed here. And I'm all the way down here on the 10th position. Oh, but at least I beat Mr. Saxo beat Perisnich. Perisnich is up here, 7,000. 6,858 points. It's not too bad. What's that? If I do 6,858 divided by 38, I averaged 180 points around. That's not too bad. I think you should average about 200 really, if you want to have a really good season on that Serie A fantasy. But this year they made it really hard. The players get like less points. But amazing. And we'll do it again next year, guys. I wanna try to expand this. And the winner, which is Ahmed, will get the Limone Ball shirt as promised. So I need to send that out to him. He's already sent me his. I asked Ahmed for his address like months ago, actually, because I already knew he was going to win. It was clear from like February, March that this guy was winning, like a bit like Inter, really. But how many players? How do we? In total, so we had 166 players. That's actually quite a lot. I didn't know we had that many. Players. That's really good. But of course, I'll do this again next year. I don't know if I'll use again Kickist. I still use Kickist because I still like the way they calculate the points. It's not just about goals and assists, which I hate the other apps to do. But we'll do it again. Really fun. But well done to Mr. Alpha Bravo for winning the Uncle Sharma Serie A Fantasy League. And then in the other team leagues, I also didn't do very well. In the United Kingdom, I finished 19th out of 1,382, which is pretty good. Out of Inter fans in general, I finished 201st. Not bad, ranking, but nowhere near good enough. Amazing work by Ahmed. Julian, who are one of the few Dumfries fans in the world, who was already saying that Dumfries has to be at least B tier. I mean, I don't think we're going to give Dumfries a bad rating. You can get a decent season, especially at the beginning of the season. Julio in the house says, "Wow, do Juve have money to buy players and they pay?" Well, I mean, it's still it's always very simple. Generally, the revenues. That's everything is about revenues. Juve, as much as they're struggling, as much as they've got debts, as much as they're making losses, they still have their commercial revenues are higher than Inter. It might change, depending how things go in the next few years. But the fact that they own, even though the stadium is small, but the fact that they own their own stadium is a big factor. Sponsorships deals that they've had, but again, now that it looks like they actually the new season they might start the season without a sponsor, Juve, which just hasn't happened for a long time, because they were sponsoring themselves the last few years. Jeep are owned by the same owning company that owned Juve, Exor, Fiat, etc., Chrysler. Those companies there, Jeep comes under those. So they were kind of doing the Man City, PSG type of thing of sponsoring themselves. I think that deal was paying like 40-50 million a year or something, something crazy, but that's expired now. So things might start to change, but until then, they still have a lot of financial power to flex Juve. Tambir, hope you're doing well, bro. Girospelli, best Bastoni season defensively. Yeah, easily, very easy. Also, just best Bastoni season in general, like just in total. Sera A, second best league in the world right now after La Liga. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's my favorite, but I can see definitely the comparison points. The problem I have with La Liga is like the goal scoring and the style of football has changed really drastically, that it's very hard to watch a lot of the La Liga games. But I guess a lot of people feel the same way about Serie A. But yeah, I'm not really like one of those guys. Like, I have my favorite league. I don't know what the best league is, to be honest. I know I love my Serie A. Hakan, Lautaro, and lastly Bastoni. Oh yeah, let's see how that poll is going. Make sure you interact with the poll. Where is it? Hakan's winning quite easily, 69% at the moment. Lautaro's got 23, but 7% of people have also voted for Zoma, which is quite surprising. No. I am not into cricket at all. I do not like cricket. We've got great few Celeblases. Hakan, Lautaro can be sold for outrageous to PL if you want. Yeah, but we don't want. I really enjoyed this fantasy. First time playing it. Oh my goodness, that's even more embarrassing that you've run away with it. Have you got like some sort of algorithm or like some mad like calculation secret cheat code, Alpha Bravo? Because that was your first time playing it. This is like my third, fourth season in a row using this one, and Jesus, that makes it even more embarrassing. Eduardo, sub-charms, Inter club goals for the season. Yeah, 100%. Like Inter as a season, it's an MVP season. I know people want to, shit on the Champions League side of things, but overall, I will give this like a 8.5, 9 out of 10 season, because that was the goal since the beginning of the year. Second star. I know there's a few guys that talk about they like really want the Champions League and all that kind of stuff, which I understand, but that was my goal. That was the announced goal. Marotta, Ozilio, Inzaghi, everyone talked about it. Second star, and the way we won it as well. Just 8.5. Okay, 8.5 because of the Champions League. 8.5, and no Coppa Italia. Even though we don't really care about the Coppa Italia this year, give it a nice solid 8.5 season. A really good season. Finish like that. That's pretty good, Eduardo. Much better than last year. I remember Eduardo was really bad at this fantasy game last season. So that's a big improvement, Eduardito. Well done. You took some learnings from last year. Hakan was unplayable this year. Just need to cool it with the best mid in the world claims. Humility takes it far. Yeah, but that's part of that's literally, that's how like big players, man. Like these guys, they're not like us. You have to have ego to get to certain places. Humility only takes you so far. And he has been really good. He's definitely the best mid in Serie A. And yeah, maybe he's not the best mid in the world. I agree with that, but you gotta have that mentality. Like you gotta think. It's like you have to think that you're the best, or you gotta like aim to be the best to make it in these football. How many footballers make it in professional football? Is like one of the percentages of making it is like one of the lowest in professional sports. Is like 0.0 something something. It's crazy. So guys that make it that far, and then also to try to be the best within the professionals as well. Like you have to be, yeah, these are extraordinary individuals that they're able to do these types of things. So Hakan, yeah, maybe he's not, doesn't show humility, humbleness, but why not? Why not? Like he's going to be playing only for a few more years. Let him cook. Let him cook, man. Let Hakan cook. Yeah, I was definitely flexing. I think I finished about top 20 Interfans. Yeah, that's wow. So there's someone that did better than you. I mean, I thought you would have finished like first in the world or something. That's crazy that you finished like top 20. So there's even other monsters out there. Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? With Fantasy Serie A, it's always about you got to stay on it. You got to stay on top of it. You got to stay on top of it. Darmian A tier as always. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Actually, Darmian, I've kind of half filled the because I don't want to spend too much time on it because otherwise we end up doing an hour and a half stream. So I've already filled out half of it so we can just move through some guys. But Darmian is one of those guys that I want to ask for you guys' opinion on where we put Darmian. Juventus are commercially bigger than Inter. Yeah, that's the truth. So I told the EPL allowed Chelsea to sell rebuild. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like those guys have sold. I don't know if you guys know about this, but Chelsea sold to themselves their training ground facilities, then like some parking lot, and I think like a hotel that's on Stamford Bridge to like circumnavigate FFP and financial sustainability laws and stuff. So they're like making money out of selling things to themselves. Obviously not via Chelsea, but third party companies that are just directly related to Clear Lake, who own Chelsea. Like it's just ridiculous. That's the type of things that Man City and these PSG type things that just circumnavigating the laws. It's legal, but is it really? Hey Ian, hope you're doing well. I saw Matthias' video, by the way, on Inter Worldwide. It was really good that he did. I should have done it, to be fair. The unboxing when I got the package from you guys is really nice. The Marotta League. I've worn that shirt so many times already, the Marotta League, and I always get so many compliments for it. Like when I did my unboxing video for the Italy jacket, I was getting people commenting about the Marotta League shirt. I was like, where can I get this? So it's a very popular shirt. You should really think about selling it somewhere, Ian, because it seems like there's a lot of demand for it. Hit the like button. Yes, Mattia. Speaking of Mattia, here he is. Great video, unboxing video. Kerr Mafia Massive. Morning BLE Godzilla Sharma streaming, what a good day. Yeah, I know. Like I will be streaming a lot more now, like next few weeks and days, like Italy content coming soon. I'm going to be trying linking up with a few other Italy fans, like Napoli Talk, maybe Old Heart Rossonero, maybe like some other Italy fans doing like post-match reaction after the Italy games. Yeah, but then you got to think again, like, is it really that wrong to say that? Like, obviously, because Kroos is winning Champions League doesn't mean that Kroos is having individually amazing seasons. You guys know, if you guys know me, Tony Kroos is actually my favorite player in world football. Well, now he's retired. Well, after the Euros, he's going to retire. But as a CDM, like, what Hakan was doing on both phases of play, winning the ball back, but also playmaking, it was really, really good. It's just, I don't know, people like to clown people for having some self-confidence. Serie A is the best coefficient speaks. Yeah, that's the truth. If you look at the coefficient now, it's Serie A is the number one, isn't it? Thank you, Atalanta. Thank you, Fiorentina, for all these back-to-back Conference League. Hey, the Coca Mafia is here. But thank you once again, Debbie. I've already thanked you in private, but really, really good stuff. All the merch and things you guys send me. Yes, he is a world-class level athlete, man. Yeah, like it's everyone has their own way. Like, it's only like Messi who's out there who can just be like, quiet little guy with the, not very extroverted and not very loud and stuff like that. But he's just like blessed by the Lord with unreal ability. Everyone else you gotta do stuff to like pump yourself up here. Otherwise, you're not gonna make it. Debbie says she picks Hakan. Lautaro did his job, but Hakan went above and beyond. Time for Hakan to get his flowers. I mean, I know Ahmad's going to give his flowers. FFP doesn't matter in EPL. City soon the EPL, so they can continue to cheat. Exactly. Well, it does matter in EPL, but it's just that teams find a way around it. You've seen now that teams like Everton and then Nottingham Forest are starting to get punished. It's starting to catch up now, but other teams find ways around it. That's the issue. This is not an unpopular opinion, Deepesh. I think if you talk to Inter fans around different socials, this is one of the most popular opinions right now, that Inter need to buy a centre back because we can't go on with a 35, 36-year-old Acerbi that's declining, and the rise has been declining for a few years now anyway. So yeah. Yeah, look, Ian, you gotta open up a shop or something, bro. Like that Marotta League shirt is I should have made Marotta League shirts, but I just didn't want to rip off, because I don't know who actually created it, that design. So I just didn't want to take someone's design and just use it. But now I wish I did, because it seems to be like the most in demand shirt in the world. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. If you are rewatching this, skip after the 17-minute mark and we get into the rating. So yeah, as I said, I'll half filled it out anyway. And then we can also obviously change it. That's it's up to you guys. But to me, I don't know. I saw Anthony's ones on Inter Worldwide. I don't know how Lautaro wasn't in MVP category, because I know Lautaro fell off. I know that. But what he did, yeah, I know that it's not trademark, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know who created. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm happy to use it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming you guys for using it. I'm just saying, for me, on my channel and shop, I thought, the guy might find it, whoever created it, and then sue me. That's what I'm saying. But you guys go ahead and use it. I'm just saying that I should have also used it. But yeah, Lautaro, think about it, guys. I know we've had defensively one of the best seasons as well. Like we almost broke the clean sheet record, and how many goals did we concede? 18 goals or something ridiculous like that. 22 goals. I mean, that's unreal. That's crazy. But Lautaro, what he did this season to me is the real what set the difference. Is so let's go back to the start of the season. So let's go, opening game of the season. So he opens up with the 2 goals. Boom. That's 3 points from Lautaro directly. Oh, God's sake, don't do this. I have to do this every single time on the thing. And then Cagliari, who was it? Cagliari. So here, again, okay, it's Denzel who's got the first one, then Lautaro. But then, these are already key goals that are getting us on the way to the second star. Then into Fiorentina, 2 goals again, with Thuram breaking his duck. We're talking about, it doesn't, what happened after February where he fell off, it essentially didn't really matter, because what he did from August till February or August till January, whichever way you want to see it, that's what landed us the scudetto. In the Milan derby, he didn't score, but he had the 2 assists. Here in the Real Sociedad game, he had the equalizer. Really, really key goal, because this was one of our worst games of the season. We got battered by Sociedad, and Lautaro got, sneaked that goal in. This was the DeMarco banger. Obviously, this one we lost, but did Lautaro score here? No, Denzel scored here. Fair play. And you can see the start of Denzel's season, how good it was as well. And then obviously Salernitana. But yeah, it looks funny now because he scored the 4 goals, but we were 0-0. We were struggling until Lautaro came on in that game. So again, that's another 3 points landed here by Lautaro. Into Benfica 1-0. This is Thuram. Inter Bologna here, he scores the opener, right? Yeah. Oh no, Acerbi scores the opener, he scores the second, which, in the end, it provides us with a point. So you see, this is what he really provided a lot of things at the beginning of the season that led us to where we got in the end. And here, this is one of the most key goals in November. Kerala from just on the edge of the box away at Atalanta. This was really, really key goal. And then he scored away at Juve. This is a massive, massive goal. And then did he score here? No, he didn't score against Napoli. So he had I think it's like 2 games max he went without scoring in between this period. And then he returned to score against Udinese. Then he scored away at Lazio. So really, look at this. Up until all these games, he's pretty much carrying the team on his back. Here again, the opening goal, he was the difference to me. Like the fact that he was started to be finally clinical is what led into the scudetto. Because then, if you get those early goals, that means you can defend a little bit deeper. So I know now it looks like we had amazing defense, but if Lautaro wasn't scoring those goals in the 8th minute, 11th minute, one chance, one goal type thing, it's a different game when we're doing that. Like in previous season, it would be we create 2, 3, 4, 5 chances, we don't score, then the other team goes has one counter attack, or Kandreva shoots from 30 yards out and somehow it goes in. Like that's how previous seasons were going. So I'll put him here, but he's not my MVP. Don't worry, he is not my MVP. And as the poll says, 67%, 42 votes. I think we can end the poll now. My MVP is Hakan. I mean, if you guys listen to me on different podcasts and different outlets, I've been pretty clear. Hakan is my MVP, and also you guys have voted him in the MVP. But I'm just saying that I think Lautaro does deserve the shout to be in the MVP category. Lautaro was not MVP. It was again of the season where he went started for 7 games, great season. Yeah, no, 100%. We have to look at the totality of a season. But I'm just surprised that because of that end streak of Lautaro, people have started to completely discount him out from MVP talk, because he didn't. He won Sera A MVP, which I'm not too mad about. Again, I probably would have given it to Hakan, but I'm not too mad at Lautaro winning the Sera A MVP. And I think it also affected it when we, towards the end of the season. Now I think that's been resolved, but the Lautaro contract situation, I think that started to affect people's, view. It was like, oh, this guy is asking for 14, 15 million. And, he goes on these types of streaks. So that, I think, started to also affect people's questioning him. But, yeah. Oh, look, Barella. Barella's asking, why shouldn't I be in the MVP category? Shout out to Barella, by the way, who's had another kid, baby boy on just a new mini Barella out. So congrats to him. Hopefully he can return to be important for Italy at the Euros. I'm not saying he's our MVP, but I'm saying he has that type of season. No strikers that's consistent. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's just not that many guys out there that are that consistent. Like everyone wants Lautaro to be. Yeah, everyone has. I mean, yeah, Lautaro scored more than every single one of these guys, apart from Haaland and Lewandowski. Oh, actually, he might have scored more than Lewandowski, right? So, and yeah, this is the thing. These are the top strikers these days. I don't know how Nketiah made it to this list, but yeah, these are the top strikers around these days, and that's just the type of football right now. So Lautaro is up there, and people clown him also for saying that he's up there with Haaland and Mbappe, but statistically he is. Yeah, that's the thing. That Napoli last year, Napoli, Kvara won MVP of Serie A. I think Osimhen won Striker of the Year, but they also completely fell off after like February, March, because the season was already over. But again, what I'm saying is he's not my MVP. I'm saying a lot of stuff to defend Lautaro, but I'm actually not saying that he's my MVP, because Hakan is the MVP for sure. But yeah, this is basically what I'm saying, that Lautaro was the difference. Like, if Lautaro didn't perform to the level that he performed this year, I don't think we would have done it. I don't think the Lautaro from last season and Thuram from this season would have landed us the scudetto. Or maybe I think we still probably would have, because the difference has been so big. But the way that we did it, the massive gap that we did it with, the ease that we did it with, I don't think we would be able to do it. Which means not sure what the Hakan hype is about. Hakan has been consistent. Like, this is the MVP of the season. He has been consistent from game day 1 until game day 38. Yes, maybe of course he had a few games here and there that weren't as good, but Hakan, not just in terms of what he did for his position, the goals, he's what, third or joint top scorer, second top scorer with Thuram. All the, I know that's not really a metric, but all the player rating apps have Hakan as the top rated player. What else? You know, in terms of tackles, in terms of leadership as well, everything. Like, Hakan was just the complete package this year. So he's my clear MVP of the season. But anyway, again, it's so hard to like not start talking too long about each single player. Let's go down to the bottom now. We've talked about who the MVP is. The MVP is Hakan Calhanoglu. But let me get some of these guys out of the way, because I just want to like get them out of the way. So this category called He Exists. He exists? Oh my God. I forgot about his existence. Yeah, that could be a category as well, banter era players. So these are the guys obviously like barely played any minutes, like Di Gregorio, but he going to Juve, bastard. Di Gennaro, 1 appearance. How many minutes did he end up having? 22 minutes. Wow, Agume actually had 4 minutes. I forgot about that. We should have put Agume in here. Yeah, 14 minutes. Klassen, Buchanan, Sensi, like, they just, what was their contribution to the season? Not I'm blaming them, but it's just the truth. Just the truth. Oh yeah, you guys enjoy it. You guys in Milan. Oh yeah, I think that's what the video Ian sent me, because I was looking at it. I thought he was like forwarding me a video from someone else, but you guys are in Milan right now. Enjoy, guys. The Curva, I think it's the Curva Nord, doing like a little party, which looks really good, really good. Yeah, you guys deserve it, man. You guys deserve it. Enjoy. Have a drink from me. Don't get me wrong, I'm getting into next season with Lautaro on the back. Yeah. Why not? Why not? No, I am not Muslim, but shout out to Muslim brothers out there. Exactly, since he's still at Inter. Oh God. But anyway, let's move on. There's not much to talk about there. So like, you guys talk to me about Audero and Alexis. What are we saying about Audero and Alexis? Like, I know that Audero didn't really have, how many minutes did Audero play? Lautaro played 548 minutes. In which games did he actually play? I know he didn't have a great game against Benfica. I remember that. Obviously, you can see the 3 goals. And then in general, he wasn't that great. But then what other games did he play? Lecce 4-0 win, clean sheet. Empoli 2-0 win, clean sheet. Sassuolo 1-0 loss. Oh yeah, he probably should have maybe saved that goal that we conceded against Sassuolo. I was in Italy on holiday when I was watching that game, I remember. And then against Hellas Verona, yeah, maybe should have done better on the goals as well. I can't remember which one, but I remember thinking that, you know, if Zomo was in, he probably wouldn't have conceded that. So really, he only played 5 games. It says 6 here. Which was the end of what? Oh, in the against Bologna, yeah. Sorry, in the Coppa Italia, conceded 2. Yeah, I think I'll leave him in the meh meh category. Like, I wouldn't mind him again as a backup, to be fair. Like, he was cheap on loan, and I think he starts. I think he starts for a lot of like Sera A teams still, Lautaro, our Indonesian king. So I'm gonna leave it in the meh season, but I know some people think he's had a disaster season too. Alexis, similar vibe. I think Alexis is a season of two halves for him. He was kind of like really bad at the beginning, and it seemed like, what the hell? Why did we re-sign this guy? Because it seemed like we signed the guy that had a really good season in France, and it was like, okay, should be okay. He was really good in France for Marseille. But yeah, in the end, 4 goals, 5 assists in 1,110 minutes. Like, what does that calculate as? 9 divided by 1,010. Oh shit, no, the other way around. 1,010. Yeah, a goal or assist every 123 minutes. Not too bad for Alexis. I think there was a penalty. Of course, he missed the penalty. I've just remembered he missed the penalty against Atletico. Everyone blames Lautaro for the Atletico penalties, but in reality, it's Klassen and Sanchez the penalties that really cost us. I know Lautaro's was the one that went viral, and it's the official penalty that kicked us out. But in reality, it was because of Sanchez and Klassen's 2 shite penalties that we went out. So in the end, it wasn't too bad of a season from Alexis. And he was actually, one thing I was happy with Alexis, didn't get really injured much this time around. That was one annoying part of him when he was at Inter before, that even though he was quite reliable off the bench, he would used to get injured quite a lot, especially when he went to like Chile international duty. So yeah, I'm happy with leaving him at meh, as you guys also say. Now, talk to me some about these guys. We'll get to everyone else afterwards. I'm undecided about some of these guys. Where are we putting Darmian? Where are we putting Matty Doms? That's the one I'm undecided about, because he's always just reliable. I think he, like last season, because he stepped up for when Skriniar left, maybe I had more like gratitude towards him, because it was like, wow, this guy stepped in for Skriniar and he hasn't missed a beat. He was just amazing stepping in at right centre back. But then this season, he ended up playing quite disappointingly too much time as a right wing back, which I don't blame him for. That's, Inzaghi deciding that. But 2 goals, 2 assists. Again, of course, defensively super reliable as always. 3,100 minutes, so a lot of football he played. But I don't really know how to judge his season accurately. Had an average meh season. I think meh's quite harsh. I was thinking good season, to be honest. It can't be meh. I think he had a good season. Can't put him in meh. But it just, it wasn't great, but it was good. But it's just, this is another, moving forward, I think you got to move on from Darmian. I've been saying this for 2 years, because it always seems like it's going to happen, but you can't have. Well, you can have, but it's like, you can't be the guy that starts 35, 40 games for you. Like, I still don't mind him starting some games, especially when it's like, we want to play a bit more of a defensive game. But I don't really see how a team like Inter can have Darmian now that he's 34 as the starting. Yeah, he's 34, starting right wing back. So that's the only thing. But always appreciative to Matty Doms. What a guy, what a player. And let's see, he might even be started for Italy if they play 3 at the back as a centre back. Although Spalletti does love Di Lorenzo. Who shall we do next? Aslani. Where did I put Aslani? Yeah, okay, let's do Aslani next then. Aslani. Yeah, I think we can say meh season. Again, I don't think it's his fault. Yeah, we already discussed Hakan's our MVP. So Palik, if you have missed it, you gotta rewind. How many minutes? I think he just about played 1,000 minutes this season. Where is he? Aslan, yeah, just about 1,066 minutes, 31 appearances. But he did his job, though. I think people are too harsh on Aslan. I know that people are expecting this kind of like post Hakan, like they're expecting what Hakan did to Brozovic to happen with Aslani. But I think that's too harsh. Like, how can a guy do that? Like, he's just not ready to do that, and I'm not expecting him to do that. Yes, maybe I expected him to some of the games that he did start in or appeared in to have a bit more of an impact, but I think he's judged a bit too harshly, which is a good sign. Like, it seems like people's like, our standards now are getting a bit higher. Like, we're not in the banter era anymore, and our standards are getting high. But at the same time, it's like, what do you want from him? Like, Hakan was the best midfielder in the league, so he's not going to take time away from Hakan. And Inzaghi doesn't see him in any of the other positions, which I still disagree with him. I still think Aslani can do a job as a mezzala potentially, but Inzaghi is the coach. He decides, and he decides that Aslani is only a CDM. And Hakan barely got injured. So Aslani wasn't going to get any playing time. But I think when he's had to come in, a lot of the times he's started when it's like, fully rotated teams. So, and he's had some big like performances as well. Like, was it Fiorentina away maybe that I'm thinking of? There was, what is the, where's the team stats gone? We just had them a minute ago. Sorry, guys. Why the... So annoying. It was just a minute ago. But I'm trying to find, there was like one game, I think it was away at away against Fiorentina that he played in. I think it was him and Frattesi both started, and we won that game, if I remember correctly. So yeah, look at this. So he started. So yeah, the season didn't start well because everyone was like, Inzaghi against Sociedad rotated really heavily, and we obviously we didn't do well that game. And it was just all a thing like, he's not ready and all that. But I think even if Hakan started that game, like we just really played badly that game. So that gave us some doubt already starting in the season that maybe this guy's not ready. And then he started in the Benfica 3-3. He starts every game for Albania. And then his first start in Serie A, we're talking, look at that, this is what I'm saying. Like, first start in Serie A, we're talking about, he had a really good appearance against Roma, if you guys remember. He came on, he did the pre-assist to DeMarco. He had a beautiful ball across to DeMarco, and DeMarco crossed it to Thuram, who scored the 1-0 winner. Look at that. So first start for him, and that's the one I was talking about, 1-0 away at Fiorentina. So that's his first start, and the team had a clean sheet with him, and we won the game away at Fiorentina. So that's the first time he's in the league he had to step up, and he did step up. And I remember it was a decent performance. And then there's a period here where Hakan was suspended or had like a minor injury where he stepped up here. So he had 3 games in a row as a starter. Again, 4-0 win away at Lecce, 4-0 win at home. You think did he score in this one, or was that a different one? 2-1 at home to this is the one where he scored 2-1 against Genoa. Is the one goal. So look at that, the 3 games that he started in Serie A, wins with some clean sheets in there. and then afterwards again doesn't start until we lose away against Sassuolo. And then the 5-0 win against Frosinone away he starts. So yeah, I mean, I think, as I said, I think people are expecting a little bit too much from Asllani in some aspects. But saying all that, he is going in the meh category because it's only 1,000 minutes. So yeah, he always has show potential in the friendlies in the summers. Hey, thank you, Eduardo. I'm the MVP of streaming now. Thank you, everyone in the Inter community does a great job, and you do a great job. You're the MVP of the supporters of this channel. So thank you very much. Hakan wasn't even Hakan. Yeah, Hakan Asllani's age was, going viral for his free kicks and, playing in the Bundesliga. He was good though. We can't say that Hakan, that he was getting hype at Asllani's age. Hakan was, but mainly because of his free kick specialties. But yeah, what was Brozovic doing at Asllani's age? What's Hakan doing at Asllani's age? This position does need experience and playing time, but it's a catch-22 position with Asllani's. Like, I don't know if I want it. Like, he needs time, like he needs playing time, but I don't want to loan him out. But I do want to loan him out. But then who else? We need to bring someone else to be. It's a bit of a tricky situation. Like, I want Asllani to be getting 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 minutes, proper, football, back to back to back, 30 games a season starting, getting yellows, getting suspended, maybe making a mistake, getting a red card, like he needs to go through those growing pains and then come back to Inter as a 23, 24, 25-year-old ready to, maybe finally step in for Hakan. Because I still think he does have that potential. He just the side of the game that he really needs to improve is off the ball. That's where Hakan is like so impressive now in terms of off the ball, the pressing, the winning the ball back, the tackling, knowing when to foul people as well, like when you need to take a yellow card. Hakan's really good at that. He's got that dirty side to his game. Well, I don't agree with that. His only bad game was against Sociedad. But everyone was really bad against Sociedad. But I think he had like other appearances where he was a bit meh. Why is class in the club? Yeah, we don't know why that we signed that guy, to be honest. Okay, moving on. Who shall we do next? Give me another guy, guys, to do. Shall we do Mickey? Just do Mkhitaryan. Like, this guy is obviously up here. I know, like, he's actually quite opinion splitting player because I mean, yeah, we do Cuadrado. Yeah, Cuadrado can just go straight here because Cuadrado was just a disaster. We signed him a few years too late, and his body was just broken by the time we signed him. So yeah, quick and easy for Cuadrado. But it seems like the players do like him. Like, you can see he's very much inserted himself in the dressing room, and at Inter, even like the jump when they singing "Chi non salta bianco nero who doesn't jump is a Juventino at the celebrations. So gotta give him a shout out for that, even though he still is a rat, Juventino rat for all those years. But we just signed him a few years too late, unfortunately. But yeah, going back to Mkhitaryan, as Matthias saying, I think great season because he's our top assister, guys. Again, like I was about to say, he's very opinion splitting because I think people want to see Frattesi start more, and he's old and this, and Inzaghi starts him all the time. But again, that's not his fault. That's Inzaghi doing this Dzeko thing of like not rotating him enough, which wasn't Dzeko's fault. And in this case, it's not Mkhitaryan's fault. But 8 assists, some of them are fugazi because I made the video compilation of him for Mkhitaryan, and I ended up seeing like, where the hell did he get so many assists? And some of the assists are really fugazi, like a 2-yard pass to DeMarco when DeMarco shot the goal from halfway line. Like, that should not be an assist. Like, that should not count as an assist. And then they had other similar ones where you just like literally a 2-yard pass, or it like bounces off the goalkeeper and he gets a little toe on it and it ends up being an assist. But still, big contribution outside of that. And speaking of Zielinski, if you haven't checked it out, the guy who's supposed to come in to replace Mkhitaryan, he's going to have his work cut out, because it's not just what Mkhitaryan does in the final third. It's actually everything that Mkhitaryan does off the ball. That's what's really impressive about him. He has that balance in midfield, next to Hakan, next to Barella, winning the ball back. And the accelerations, even though he's 35 years old, this guy is still he's in the top 10 in Sera A for most accelerations per 90 minutes. He's just transitionally does such great work. And the reason why he starts over Frattesi, I still think, is the technical ability. Like, he's so much more neat and tidy than Frattesi, who's still got too much chaos in him. Mkhitaryan will pretty much end every single match with above 80-85% pass accuracy. Sometimes, even though he had 8 assists, it sounds weird to say, but his final ball really is not as good as it seems like it would be, especially for a guy who played as a winger and attacking mid for all his career. But Mkhitaryan's had a really, really good season. But his only 2 goals were against the Milan, which, if you had to pick one game to score 2 goals in, that is the game to do it in. But it would have been nice to have Mkhitaryan contributing a goal or 2 in other situations as well. So just for that reason, I don't put him in the MVP category, but he is, he definitely was one of the best players this season. Then who do we do next? Frattesi next. Let's do Frattesi again. Looking at it, just stats. If you just looked at Frattesi on a stat sheet, you're talking about one of the best seasons in Europe. Not even just like, for Inter, you're talking about 0.69 XG per 90. I think I calculated it was like something like a goal or an assist every, 105, 110 minutes, if I remember, something crazy like that. Like a striker would have been happy with some of Frattesi's numbers, in 1,555 minutes, like big goals, big impact off the bench. But was he that good as a midfielder? Not really, but I struggle not, I feel like he had a great season off the bench, though. Do you not guys think? Do you not guys think he had a fantastic season, just stat wise? But then, he just hasn't had that growth. Do you see it? Does this season make you think that Frattesi can be a starter at Inter? I don't think he's shown that, has he? Even though he had this crazy amount of GA, he hasn't really shown to me that he can be a starter for Italy or for Inter. It still seems like he's going to be a impact player off the bench even next year, especially with the Zielinski coming in, another guy who's technically superior. Frattesi is attacker great and midfielder good. I would say Frattesi is attacker great, but as a midfielder, meh, really. Because again, even the last game of the season, when we were checking, if you guys remember the live stream, he ended up with 59 pass accuracy again. You're just not gonna. It's not even about stat. You just can't be a top class midfielder with those types of passing numbers. You just can't. And he's not even young anymore. That's the thing with the Frattesi. Well, he's gonna be 20. He's 24. He's gonna be 25 soon. When's he gonna be 25? So yeah, literally starting the season, he's gonna turn 25. So we're not talking about someone young anymore. But I'm happy with this season. He's not started this game. We struggled in midfield. But again, that's the same thing I'm saying about Aslani, Bobby Marley. He starts when it's Aslani starting next to him, or when not the whole starting team is next to him. If he starts next to, that's the thing. I want to see him start next to Barella, next to Mkhitaryan, next to Hakan as well. Sometimes he started in the games, the Benfica game, where he's completely rotated. And again, he's probably, what's the actual starting games that he's played? Not that many. If you actually look at which games did he start in. Obviously a lot of Champions League games, because this is where Inzaghi decided to rotate the team a lot. But again, this is rotated into in the Champions League group stage, because again, the focus was second star. And then starts one game for Italy against Venezuela. And then, in the league, first start was Empoli, end of September. 1-0 win thanks to DeMarco. And then we're talking all the way up until January, which is that game which I was talking about, where, he did play well in that game against Fiorentina with Aslani starting. And then Lecce, this was a good game. This might have been probably one of his best games. The Lecce one, goal and assist, but he was really good in general. And then he didn't start until all the way up until April. So again, it's hard to judge a guy that's only really had, like, in the league, 4 starts. So it's difficult for me to judge him correctly, but as an impact sub, he's been amazing. Just, as a starter, it's clutch. So many clutch goals. We'll put him in great season because those clutch goals are just too good. Well, quickly. I mean, do I need to really talk about some of these other guys like Zoma? I don't know how he didn't get a shout in the goalkeeper category for Sera A. And I think Di Gregorio was the rightful winner, by the way. So people were crying on my TikTok and Instagram video where I was saying that he should have been nominated. I wasn't saying that he should have won, because it is true he wasn't as challenged and he didn't need to be as important as other goalkeepers in the league. But that still doesn't take away the fact that he had the most clean sheets and he was contributing to those. So what a signing! He replaced Onana. I would say he's an upgrade on Onana in some ways, because he's a much more calming influence. Onana can be a bit erratic. I'm not talking about what he's done at Man United. I'm talking about what Onana did at Inter. Because obviously Onana's really good on the ball, but I've never been worried with the Zoma on the ball as well. That's the thing. I think he's done really well on the ball as well. Technically, he's actually much better than I thought he was. So, really, really good. Yeah, he definitely deserves it. And then Bastoni, he won MVP defender. But I think any of Inter's defenders could have won it. I think if you gave it to Acerbi, I wouldn't have complained. If you gave it to Pavard, I wouldn't have complained. Even some of the other guys, like I thought even Buongiorno maybe deserved it, because their Torino finished with the second best defense, if I'm correct. Or was it Bologna or Torino that finished with the second best defense? But I still need to do my Serie A team of the season video. I'm late with everything this year. So Bologna 32 goals against, Torino 36. So it was. Oh no, but the Juve finished with pretty Allegri's terrible bastards. That guy. Absolute terrorism. But Bastoni's best season in the Inter shirt. And I'm happy because, he signed the big contract last year. Remember, we were like, 4.5 million net contract, putting him in the upper echelon of earners in Serie A and around Europe. He deserves it, but he stepped up to it. And he actually showed a lot of leadership qualities as well this season, which, I'm really happy to see that growth from him. And Pavard is just, we managed to upgrade on Skriniar because this guy is really good defensively, first of all. But miles better on the ball, which is what we needed in that position, that hybrid. This is what you need in the 3. A guy who's comfortable going up, but also comfortable coming back. I'm shocked and surprised that he didn't even score a goal, though, because he does get into good positions. It's a shame that he finished the season with no goals, but that doesn't take anything away. The only thing, he might have even been potential MVP if he didn't get injured. He was out for like a month with that injury, unfortunately. And then Inzaghi actually took like a few weeks to integrate him. Like, we signed him and then Inzaghi inserted him slowly into the team. Like, what was the first game he actually started? If you check, you see 2,300 minutes. And often Inzaghi would sub him off as well, like around the 70th, 80th minute as well. Yeah, so Champions League starts straight away, but in the league, because obviously Champions League starts after league anyway. So yeah, like first two games doesn't play, then starts against Empoli. Then on the bench, so yeah, you see he's like slowly inserting him into the team. Then here he gets injured, so he's out for like a month pretty much. Misses 4 league games, 5 league games. And even then, yeah, you know, like when you're coming back from injury, then you slowly insert him back. So he missed basically 6, 7, 8 games in that period. But if it wasn't for that, he potentially could have been in that kind of MVP category. Yeah, you see a lot of times he gets subbed off around 80th minute, 70th minute, half time. But really, really good season from Benji Pavard. One amazing signing. And then Thuram, of course, we don't need to talk about it. Again, somehow was not nominated by Sera A in the striker MVP category, which is like you're talking about a guy who had 20 goal contributions, but again, not just any goal contributions, big goals, you know, assist against Juve, goals against Milan, Fiorentina, Napoli, Champions League. Like this guy just one impact. Again, he's similar to Lautaro. He kind of fell off after February as well, after his injury. When did he get injured? Because he really dropped off after his injury to Ram. Have a quick look. Oh, actually, in total, 15 and 14 assists. That's really, really good. That's not just 20. That's yeah, it's getting close to 30 there. 29 GA. Wow, fantastic. It's even better than I thought, actually. But yeah, so he got injured here February. Yeah, so this is when his drop off. You can just literally see it, like Roma, Salernitana, goal, then injury, and then nothing up until an assist against Udinese. Then he picks it back up here. But then, yeah, he wasn't as good in the Atletico games as well, especially the second leg. He had a chance, big chance as well. But great season. And yeah, signing of the season for sure. Signing of the season easily. Not just for Inter, by the way. I think he's a signing of the season for Europe. Thuram is getting Henry numbers in league. Yeah, 26 GA is really, really outstanding. I didn't realize he had that many. But that doesn't make sense because how did he get 13 G? But on this one, the top assister in Serie A is Mkhitaryan with 8. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense because Serie A. Let me see, Serie A top. Because on FotMob it was showing as Mkhitaryan as a top assister with 8, so that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there's no way that's accurate. There's something wrong there because yeah, here officially he's got 7. Oh, Transfermarkt counts pens. Right. That's actually good. Yeah, no, that should be good. That's right. That's good because that penalty wins should be like rather than like Mkhitaryan's 2-yard assist to DeMarco who shot it from 50 yards. Winning a penalty should count as an assist. So I agree with that. So yeah, that makes sense. Officially he had 7 assists, but with the penalty win, yeah, which is what we said, like, you know, at the beginning of the season. It was like, this is what Inter miss, a guy that can dribble in the box, do something a little bit different, 1v1, which is what stupid Tugu Correa was supposed to do. And that's exactly what he added to us. So Yeah. Okay, let's do Arnautovic. I want to get like let's get some anger out because I know a lot of people hate him. Where are we putting Arnautovic in the disaster categories? Where are we putting him in? He's the reason for Marotta League. Yeah, probably is. Single-handedly started the Marotta League thing with his penalties. Where are we putting Arnautovic? I know there's gonna be some disaster shouts in the chat. MVP will always win. That's the thing. That's the thing. Obviously, I keep saying to you, Interisti that are very superstitious and believe in luck and jinxes and all this kind of stuff. But when it comes to Arnautovic, you don't want to hear about it. But he's the lucky charm. I don't know. Mattia doesn't really mean it. Mattia has hatred in his heart for Arnautovic too. So Bobby Marley says meh season. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting lots of disasters in the chat. Terry, there it is, a 10 million euros disaster. If Arnautovic was free, I'd put him in the meh, but he wasn't. Definitely, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think that's what swings it for people is the actual because we had to actually pay money for him. I think if it was free, then people wouldn't actually mind. But the fact that we paid, well, that's the thing as well. Like the deal with Bologna is kind of like you have to think about it. Yes, it was like like 9 million. Okay, let's just call it 10 million. But it was because they were the only team willing to pay us 5 million, not for option with the buy, option to buy or loan with option, 5 million for Fabian with that buyback clause. So that's what you got to think about it in that way. That it was kind of like, okay, we'll overpay for Giovanni Fabian, for Arnautovic, but you guys got to buy Fabian off us straight away, not a loan. And that's actually, potentially could pay off in the future for us with that 12 million buyback clause that we have for Fabian. So we got money in for him straight away, 5 million straight capital gain, but we had to overpay for Arnautovic. Yeah. I think the other reason is like Jean-Louis says, a lot of people see him as the main reason to be out of the Champions League, which again I disagree with. Because first of all, he still scored the 1-0 goal. Yes, he should have scored, maybe made a 2-0 or 3-0, but he still scored the 1-0 goal. So he still won that game. And then the second leg, he wasn't there in the second leg. And the guys that missed the chances in the second leg were Lautaro, Barella, Thuram. Those were the guys that missed all the chances in the second leg, which is where we could have and should have won it. We had enough chances there. But I know people see all those misses he had in the first leg as well and see as the reason that we went out. But I don't agree with that fully. But yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought there would be loads of disaster shouts for him. But I agree. I think it's more of like a meh season. And because of injuries as well. But actually, those injuries make me want to put him here because, as we said, we paid money for him. And then he ended up pretty early in the season against Empoli, if I remember correctly. Pulled his muscle and he was out for like a month. And he only played like 1,000 minutes, which meant that Lautaro and Thuram had more of a load to carry because of that. But yeah, I expected. I think when we signed him, I said I wanted 15 GA from him. So yeah, they ended up with 10 GA, which is not like disgraceful. 10 GA from 1,100 minutes, that's not too bad. But yeah, like I was saying, this injury actually was actually quite worrying because it's like because then obviously same as power, like you have to recover from it. You're not back into the swing of things. I don't think he was in the swing of things for a while, really. Because he's a big guy, so it takes him a while to get back into shape. And then he got injured again here. So I'm actually leaning towards disaster, to be honest, guys. Even though I do want to kind of defend him in some aspects, because I feel like he's been scapegoated. But actually, when you think about it objectively, he has been a disaster. Yeah, I'm gonna leave him in disaster. Yeah, he had no pre-seasons, but it's I expected more. I expected more for Arnautovic. Maybe some people didn't, but actually I did expect more because he was doing well at Bologna. So I'm a bit disappointed with Arnautovic. and more like his attitude in general. Like it just seems like he behaves like an 18-year-old, like the way he's like sulking sometimes, or like he gets himself down, like he misses the chances to like it's the end of the world. It's like he feels too much pressure at Inter. So for that reason as well. But he is a really good mascot in the dressing room. They all seem to love him. And I don't think we're going to get rid of him, guys. I don't think he's going anywhere. Thank you, Anakidza91, for the donation. Appreciate that, bro. But leave a comment, say something so I can get it up on the screen. But I really appreciate that. Thank you. Misto says disaster for me. Yeah. Marco only disaster. Bigotelli says because of the Champions League, there's Mrs. Costa. Yeah. The fan base was rooting for him. That's true. Like, the whole connection to the triplete team did make us root for him. But again, I disagree. It's because of the Champions League. I think I'm talking more in general, like the fact that he just wasn't that viable backup that was challenging Lautaro and Thuram. I still really disagree with that Champions League thing because second leg we had way enough opportunities to get through, and it was the main guys that let us down there. And then we had penalties as well, which he didn't partake in. So yeah, but I'm going to leave him in the disaster category. Let's move on. Let's try to wrap up now. Let's do Denzel. Let's do our boy Denzel. I think we can put him in a good season category. I think just because of the start of his season, to be honest. And then he had an injury. That's the one thing that Inzaghi revealed to us that we didn't really know, that he was struggling with like an injury for a lot of the season that didn't make him. Even when he came back, he wasn't back fully. Like it seemed like it was holding him back for most of the season. Because he had an amazing start to the season. It seemed like the Cuadrado signing almost gave him a kick up the arse. Ooh, I'm seeing a lot of meh coming in. Okay, don't worry, I haven't decided yet. So, look at that. Start the season off amazing. Assist against Benfica. 10 GA finish, 6 assists, 4 goals. It's really, really good. That's like triple the amount of Darmian's contributions. And yeah, I remember he had a really good game against Milan, Monza, Cagliari scored. He was really good all the way up until here, where he got injured. And then afterwards, even though he came back pretty quickly, he only missed 3 games, but it was revealed that he didn't, the fitness level just wasn't quite there. It was like a niggling injury he had. Even here it says unknown injury. I think even Dumfries himself has said that it was an injury that he kind of just didn't think it was as serious as it ended up being. And then the season after that, like he had a goal assist here, but that was a Salernitana. So yeah, maybe because of like the drop off in the second half of the season, we have to take him down a notch. But I think he was on track to have his like best season ever, though. Like you got to remember how good of a start of the season it was, but then afterwards it was just and then he was at fault for that for that goal against the Juve. Yeah, I remember he had that mistake with that brick freeze touch. But we got to give him credit for that celebration as well, guys. And on the party bus, the Theo banner, we got to give him some extra points for that. Guardaro's injuries made him stop playing. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so Denzel goes in the meh, and then let's finish up with these 3. De Vrij. He's reliable, De Vrij. Like De Vrij is reliable, but he's a hard one to say. Like, what are you really wanting from your backup centre back? That's what he is now. He's our backup centre back. He's the backup to Acerbi. 2,100. Oh, that's actually a lot more minutes than I thought. 1 goal. He started the season as a starter. I completely forgot about that. Oh yeah, I think Acerbi was a bit. I think Acerbi was injured at the beginning of the season, if I remember correctly. And then yeah, once Acerbi kind of came back, but actually yeah, he played actually a lot more than I remember. There's a lot of starting games. Because the thing is, yeah, Acerbi sometimes if Bastoni is not playing, Acerbi also played at left centre back sometimes. So those might be some games, but actually, yeah, he was probably one of the ones that let us down in the Atletico game, the second leg. He wasn't very good, but I can't really remember too many games where I'm feeling like, this guy's dusted. I think he had a pretty good season, pretty decent season this year, the Vrij. As like you got to see him as the role. Like he hasn't had like a great season, but we're talking about his role as a backup centre back. I think he did his job. What do you guys think? I think he had a good season. Yeah, people are saying meh / good when needed, good. Yeah, good season. All right, let's go for DeMarco, the Interista at heart, the guy that's living our dream. Damn, he's 26. I thought he was like 24 or 25. He's 26. He's got that, Italian thing of just always being young up until you're not. Let's have a look. His stats again with DeMarco, just because of how good his left foot is. Sometimes I expect him to have like 20 assists. Like I want him to have a Trent Alexander-Arnold type of stats when Trent put up those crazy numbers a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, he's been probably the best left back in the league. One of the best. We can say now that he's one of the best left backs in Europe as well, left wing backs, and hopefully confirms that with Italy as well at the Euros. I want to say, I don't know if I would put him in the MVP though, but I think he's definitely a great season. I don't really know if I see him in the MVP category personally, but he's he did have a really really good season. And I think it helped, like having a guy like Carlos Augusto as well, who's finally, better than Gosens, actually challenging for the starting spot as well. So I can see the shouts for MVP, but MVP means like, you are literally, man of the match almost every game. That's what I'm talking about MVP, which I don't think with DeMarco we can say that too many times. He always has pretty good games and some pretty good assists and some really nice goals, maybe the goal of the season. I want to see him in the Puskas category. Proofism. He seems like he's a big DeMarco fan. Well, you'll have to show that proofism. He has to show that now. Yeah, at the Euros, as I said, you can't. I think you have to show that to show levels in multiple competitions, not just in the league. But he's got. Again, we're talking about the level of football when we're talking about Lautaro, who he's competing against. Who's DeMarco really competing against out there? The level of left backs now is not like we're not talking like Grimaldo now is like somehow become one of the best in the world. Like who's there? Alfonso Davies, like these types of guys, and even had great seasons. He's definitely up there in the shouts for being the best. Oh, I'm guessing this guy might be like DeMarco Prop or something on Twitter, that account. So that makes sense. And speaking of fanboys, we've got Aslani season here, but you've missed the conversation we had on Aslani. Everyone said meh, unfortunately for you. And then let's finish up. I left this guy for last because this guy was the official, not just voiced by me, by you guys in the chat last year, the channel's MVP last year, Francesco Acerbi. And again, you got to look past the off-field drama that happened with Juan Jesus, because in the end nothing came out of that. We probably know probably some things were said, but it's a we can't really judge the situation. We don't know what actually happened. But he was the leader of the back. Like, that's the thing. You're talking about the leader. I'm seeing a lot of good shouts. But he was the leader of the best defense in the league. But at the same time, when Acerbi isn't there, did we feel that drop off with De Vrij? Where is he? Where's the old man? Oh, there he is. How many minutes did he have? Yeah, 3,100. 3 goals to assist. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so that makes sense why De Vrij started. There you go. He had injury at the beginning of the season, but then look at that after that. Look at this streak, guys. From match day 4 up until match day 19, played every single minute at the back. And then had a little injury again in the middle of the season. And then just like when he plays, Inzaghi just doesn't take him off pretty much. So he is, as I said, he's the leader of this. We're talking about, if you give credit to Zoma, give credit to Bastoni, give credit to Pavard, this guy deserves just as much credit, in my opinion. I'm talking great season, in my opinion, when it comes to Acerbi. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, you guys saying good. But then if we're talking about injury, then with Pavard at the big injury, he missed out like a whole month at the beginning. I feel like there's a bit of recency bias now with Acerbi, where we're seeing there's a bit of like a drop off. Yeah, because he fell off in the last few games, but the last few games, as Basisa says, the ones that didn't even matter. I'm surprised. I'm not seeing more great shouts. I feel like his reputation has been a bit tarnished now. But I'll go with the majority here with a good season. But I think he was one of, just like Bastoni and Pavard, he was there. He was the leader of the back. But I'll put him, him and De Vrij, good seasons. Okay, if we give Pavard great, yeah, that was my thinking. Well, Julian, I don't know. I guess you must have missed the stream. I originally put Denzel in good, but then the chat gave me a few reasons to move him down. So I originally gave him good, but you missed the conversation. So it's definitely not a generational hating. I was just trying to give him a good season, but the chat told me to not put him in. Yeah, I was joking about it. I said Aguma had 4 minutes played this season. I should have added him in here. But he would go here. Obviously, he exists. And then who else we didn't speak about? Yeah, I mean, do you guys agree? This one I want to see. Let's finish on this one because Bisek and Augusto, I think we can easily say they had good seasons as backups. A surprise of the season, Bisek for me. But speak to me about Nico Barella, because I know I saw Anthony's one, and Anthony put him in I think his one was called Campione category, and he put him right up there. But I don't think Barella's season was that good. And again, there's reasons for it with Barella. Like, we know that he had those issues with his wife and the kids, real serious things that went on that could affect the human's mental health and well-being and the performances. And then we saw after those things came out that he improved his performances as well. But I'm not married to it. I just want to see what you guys think. It's one of those ones where I was undecided because I don't think it's been that good of a season for Barella. He wasn't we're talking about I think the best midfielder in the league. I know Hakan was this season, but that's on form. I think in general, Barella is the best midfielder in this league. But I don't think even Inter fans would put him as a shout for MVP of midfield. Like previous seasons, he was always up for MVP and one of the best in the league. Stat-wise, not too bad. 2 goals, 7 assists. He took a step back in goals-wise. Last season, we thought he started to take a improvement on the goals and final output. But his decision-making sometimes, his leadership sometimes has been a bit disappointing. Yes, obviously goal output hasn't been as good because he's out of Hakan and Mkhitaryan, he has the role that gives him a bit more freedom to attack. So he should be, out of the 3 midfielders, he should be the one getting more goals. That's why Frattesi comes on for Barella pretty much most of the time. That's that position where Barella also should be able to create those opportunities. What do you guys think? Let's have a look. What you guys are saying. Matthias says Barella good for sure. Yeah. I just don't think he's had a great season. But again, I'm not saying he's had a bad season. That's the level, because Barella, that's what happens when he's such a good player, that a good season is seen as a bad thing. But it's not. It's just that it's not been as good as Barella has been over the last many, many years. Yeah, he missed a big chance against Atletico as well. 1v1 with the goalkeeper. So yeah, it just seems like there's not much disagreement here. I thought there might be a few passionate disagreements to put him into the great season category or even in the MVP category, but yeah, that's the truth for me. But again, I still think he's Italy's best midfielder, and hopefully he recovers for Italy, and hopefully we'll see his real level. He's, to me, one of the best midfielders in Europe as well, and I hope he shows those levels at the Euros. And he's close to renewing as well, so him and Lautaro renewing is just amazing. But yeah, any ones that you guys disagree with before we go, because that's the final list. No, I don't think Augusto can go in great. He had a good impact off the bench a lot of the times, but sometimes not really changing the game. I like the fact that he plays left centre back, and it actually feels almost more solid than Bastoni sometimes defensively, because he's so, such a tank physically. Yeah, of course. But then, Anthony would be, if Anthony's name wasn't, Anthony Inter Worldwide, he would be named like one of these guys. It would be, Barella season. That would be Anthony's like real handle on Twitter and on YouTube if he wasn't making content. Well, it was a disaster. The guy got injured for like most of the season. That's disastrous. Yeah, but Frattesi, like, I was contemplating between good and great, but it's just because in the end, the clutch goals is what changed it. It's like he wasn't that good as a starter, but his impact off the bench was great. You know what I mean, Mister? He was like not good as a starter, maybe as a starter, but actually as a sub, he was MVP. He was our best sub of the season. So when you like level it out, you end up in between that kind of great and good category. Pavard shouldn't be above Acerbi. Well, I think that's the thing with Pavard. I think the level of his performances though was really high. Like when he did play, like there was a few games where he was actually like man of the match, like that Juve game where we won 1-0. He was like man of the match. So there was some games where you just see the level of Pavard is just a level a notch higher. But yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anyone. If I saw like a few of the same comments disagreeing with the positioning, I would have changed it. But it seems like everyone's pretty happy here, mostly. So yeah, guys, that was Inter's 2023-24 player ratings. Yeah, in the next few days, keep a lookout for more content. But congrats, the actual MVP, as we said, is not Lautaro is in there just like for a shout, but the actual MVP winner is Hakan Calhanoglu. consistency, tackling, passing, set pieces, not free kicks, don't direct free kicks, but set pieces, indirect, penalties, leadership, total package. And what we giving Inzaghi? Actually, yeah, let's finish with that. What we giving Inzaghi out of 10? Let's give Inzaghi a rating out of 10. I guess it's probably the same as we said for Inter, right? Because a coach directly reflects the performance of the team. So I gave the team 8.5 out of 10. So I guess we got to give Inzaghi 8.5, 9 out of 10, right? Because it's just the only mark is the Champions League, but to me, it's not really that much of a bad mark. It's just, yeah, maybe we should have done better, gotten past Atletico, but the aim, the goal was always getting that second star, and we did. Great season for Inzaghi. Yeah. Might as well for not getting first. Yeah, but again, he completely rotated the teams in every single game of the Champions League, so you just knew what the focus was. For Inzaghi, the focus was just tunnel vision on Sera A. 100% clean sheet, 0 goals conceded, got to be in great minimum. Yeah, but did he exist though, Mathieu? Did he exist? That's the question. Thank you guys for tuning in. That was a really, really long stream. Once again, I tried to actually, my whole point of half filling it was to make it quicker, but in the end, you just end up speaking on each player for like 5 minutes and it ends up being super long. But hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope that wasn't boring. And I'll try to put this up. Actually, I always say this, but the podcast form, the audio only format of the channel as well. So I'm going to upload this on Spotify, Apple Play, and Apple Music, or whatever, those podcast platforms. Because people do ask for those, people that are not able to tune into YouTube live. So keep a lookout for that. Yeah, Italy content coming. Taremi scout report with a Porto fan, so look out for that. And yeah, thank you guys for once again for this season. See you for next season, but of course see you this summer for all the transfer news. Catch you soon. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter. Mission second star complete.